Hello everyone. It's Linda here. I'm a little relaxed right now. As you can see my background, I'm on the back end and enjoying myself. But as I promised, I will continue doing this video even though I'm on vacation. But I still gotta get in touch with my people and get things done. Once again, if you're just joining me, my name is Linda Gano. I am the CEO of Linda's Perfection Creations. Linda's Perfection Creations is a event planning and wedding decor company. We cater to small and large events in and around the Philadelphia area. We do full service, partial, month of coronations. We do destination wedding. We do events in Chicago, Maryland, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Delaware, and you just name it all. I have many years of experience in the wedding industry, but I just want to get right started today. Today is a top fun topic, and I think a lot of people it's going to be on some of the terminology you hear during a wedding. Some people know about these things and some people don't. So there's actually plenty of weddings. So as you hear vendors and other people mentioning these things, you know what to talk about, because sometimes you might be talking to a wedding planner or maybe any vendor photographer and this so on and so forth, and people start to ask you all these questions and say certain things that you don't know what it is. So let me just give you an inside scoop of some of the things that it is. So it's like from A to Z, and we're going to talk about the different terms that you might hear often and people say a lot. So we're going to start from A and we'll work our way down to Z. As always, we're going to do as much as we can do within a 10-minute time frame, and then we're going to keep going till everything is over. So A, number one, altar. A lot of time people hear the word altar a lot, and when most people associate that with church. It's like the altar in the church where usually the pastor and the priest and everything preach and so on and so forth. But in a wedding, the altar represents where you're going to get married. So pretty much where your ceremony is going to be taking place at. So when you ask, it's like, hey, are you having an altar during the ceremony process? They're mostly talking about, where you and your significant other going to exchange your vows, and what it's going to be under a canopy, where are you guys going to do it, and how do you guys want to do it. Number two, applique. This is also waiting for like is healing words that sometimes get sold inside your wedding dress or fabric. Sometimes maybe if you want to say I love you or something special to significant to you, for a family member, your loved one, and those that are passed away, and you want something in there walking down the aisle in your dress to kind of represent or go along with it, to be close to you. Those are the words. So when you hear the word applique, that's our word is talking about in regards to that term. Another thing, black tie. Most of the time when people indicate a black tie, they're talking about doing a wedding. Men gonna be dressed in tuxedo, women's gonna wear a formal ball gown. So anytime you hear somebody saying a black tie wedding, that means you have to come in your Sunday's best. Your best dress, like your best outfit, suit and tie, nice dress, a ball gown dress, really elegant. So they want you to be elegant, and a formal affair is so it has to be really really formal. So when you hear people say it's going to be a black tie event, just know that is something formal dress code. So it's kind of like how you got business wear and business casual. So black tie, just know that you have to come in dress head to toe formal. And then another option is black tie optional. So black, when you hear people say, oh, black tie optional, that means you can either come in with black ties I just talked about, something formal, or you can act it into something semi-formal, but not nothing casual now. They're not talking about coming in with a t-shirt or something, but something that you'll wear to a nice dinner, something you'll wear to a business outing, something, but it's not just, I realize you don't have to wear a suit and tie. You can wear a suit, like a nice pants and a jacket, or maybe a shirt and a pants, something really formal, but it's just that you don't have to dread in a full suit. If you don't want to a full ball gown, you can wear like a made-left dress. You can wear it, those are optional. So bouquet, I'm sure a lot of people know the word bouquet, but for those who don't, those are the flowers that the bride gonna be walking down the aisle, or the bridesmaids, and where they're gonna hold, and especially represented bride, but also the flower girls and the maid of honor. Everybody has one. The bridal party usually have them. So when you hear the word bouquet, it's just a bunch of flowers that are gonna put together and make something really nice for the brides and the groom. And then also bodineers. A lot of people sometimes may not know what that is. Bodineer is a little thing in a pocket square where the groomsmen put on the lapel, the jacket, So when you're wearing a suit jacket, they have a, like, some people might call it collar, like it flips the lapel, it flicks. You put a little flowers on there, or it can be, anything that's made, and you have that flower, that's the buttoneer. Those are what it's called, a buttoneer. And then also bustle. A lot of time that is for the bride, her dress. Most of the time you have this long flowing gown that going all over the place. The bustle is just like kind of like some buttons they have, here and there on the dress that can make the dress go shorter. That either doing the first dance or the running around is easy, pretty much easy for them to move around. So you can tuck and take the fabric in the wedding dress person, the person that made the dress, they actually apply those things in there when you're doing your alteration and so on and so forth. They include that in there, so you have everything that you need to do in order for your dress to be able to move around. So anytime you hear the word bustle, that's what it represents. And you might hear a candy paint. What that represents is like cracker, like during your cocktail hours. It might be of stuffed pastries or syrup pastry or hors d'oeuvres. Those are the things that are going to be served during your cocktail hour. So when you hear that word, it just represents like all the cracker or puff like stuff, I should say, stuff like pastries that are going to be served during your reception hour, like the cocktail hours. That's just like little bite-sized food that you can then nibble on. And then candles. There are different words of candle. They got voltage candles. Voltage candle is the little small one that just go in. It's like really short. Then you have the floating candles. You have the low center table. You have the high center. You have the tapper candles. You have the candlesticks. You have, there's a lot of, you have the pillar. The pillar is the big one. You have the candles on the base. So there's a lot of different things that come associated with candles. When you hear, they might give a lot of option, a lot of things. So when you hear that, that just represents that. And then also the word celebrant. Celebrant is referred to like the clergy, like the judge, your best friend who's going to ordain your ceremony, who's going to best. So when you hear that word, it just represents the person that have the power to, to marry. Another word, officiant. Somebody who's going to officiate your service, the person who pretty much officiate your ceremony. And so when you say that, those are, what that word means in regards. And then also centerpieces. Sure, most of you guys know, and there's certain things that I would say that people already know, but for those who don't, just to clarify, centerpieces. When you hear centerpieces, it means your flower arrangement, the flowers that I'm going to sit on your table, or the candles, or whatever it is that you're going to have on your reception spaces. So when you hear somebody say centerpieces, whether it's greenery, whether it's all flowers, whether it is candles, they are typically in vases. They might be high, they might be low. No matter what, those are the centerpieces that we're referred to. They are called centerpieces. And then also charger. Chargers is like those large plates, about, I would say 13 inches round, or maybe sometimes bigger, or 12 little. But comes in different sizes. I shouldn't just say that, but the standard size is usually that, where you set your dining plate on. So it's like a plate inside of a plate that you put a plate that you're going to eat in. You don't eat in it. It's just for decoration purposes. They have different options. Some are plates, some are fabric, some are coaster. It's just different things that just kind of make it look formal. So it gives it the formal aspect of how your dining table is going to set up. And it's your part. And those are like for the Jewish people. So it's kind of like a ceremony that is built. It's a structure that is built with cloth and canopy and full poles on the side. It represents the hospital of the wedding guest. So this is where the couple going to sit in a Jewish form point. This is where they're going to sit under there to get married. Kind of like an altar, but it's not the same thing. But it's just something where they're going to get married under. And then your cocktail hours. We all know what cocktail hours is. Cocktail hours is like right after the wedding. It's where you have light refreshments before people go to your main ceremony space. So mostly you will have like food, drinks, like light stuff, finger food, where people for that hour. It's an hour where it gives you option to take your pictures. So that hour kind of kill time before your ceremony, because most of the time you think about it, you might have your reception, your ceremony space right after there. If you don't do a cocktail hours, your guests might come to your venue and they're just sitting there, nothing to do, and just waiting till you arrive. So that little cocktail hour give that time in between where you go and get your pictures and get things done. The guests have light music playing and everything is like lit up pretty for them, a little light decoration. Staff is passing around food and so on and so forth. small selection of light beer, a little bit of wine, and like favorite foods and finger food that people can just garnish on and have like different stations and so on and so forth. So that is all for today. Tomorrow we'll continue on the list. Like we stop at C. We didn't finish C, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about more today. Tomorrow, I'm sorry. But once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Linda Gunner. I am the CEO and founder of Linda's Perfection Creation. And as always, thank you. And for you guys who are just joining, I can show you my view. It is amazing. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera around. So this is where I am enjoying myself at the moment, and just on this little nice bar. You can't really see, but a little back there, there's the beach and everything. It is amazing. Thank you guys. Have an amazing